Hi, I'm Vonnie Estes, and I'm the Vice President of Innovation for the International Fresh Produce Association. And if you don't know, the International Fresh Produce Association is the merged company of United Fresh and the Produce Marketing Association. So we're a new association that is serving produce chain throughout the world. What I'm going to talk to you today about is innovation to solve big challenges in the produce industry. So we have so many challenges that we're trying to solve. We have erratic weather, either too hot or too cold or too much rain or not enough rain. And that seems to be changing yearly. We have labor costs and availability. So everyone's trying to get labor to harvest our crops. We have big supply chain issues that have only been made worse by COVID. And we have the problem of dealing with food waste. So those are some of the large challenges that we're trying to solve. One of the ways we're looking at solving these issues, and there's many technologies that are available in the industry, but one of the ways that we're looking at and that I'm going to talk about and focus on today is using robotics and automation to aid with these challenges. So robotics and automation can help with weeding, can help with pruning and thinning. It can help with gathering and analyzing data, and it can help with labor augmentation. So there's a lot of work going on in the US right now around robots and like what is causing this to happen now? Why are we finally getting some robots out in the field, at least in the pilot stage of trialing? So as we've talked about, there's a huge problem with labor costs and availability. So we're looking at how can we use machines to augment labor. We're also looking at non-chemical options to weed control. So can we use other types of technologies, which I have some videos I'll show on the different options of weed control. And one of the reasons it's getting a lot more robots in the field right now is because there's been technological advancements that are making the products cheaper and cheaper and more accessible. So the sensors that we use to gather data are getting cheaper and easier to use, and we can afford to put them in the field and leave them there. And we're using artificial intelligence and machine learning to deliver insights about what we're doing. Another thing that's changed that's making robotics used more in the field is the models have changed to give us lower upfront costs. And so it's cheaper to get robots in the field. And we're also changing the business model to use it as a service. So you don't have to actually buy the harvester or the pruner or the thinner. You can either lease it or you can pay for a service for the company that owns these. So it's making it more accessible for people to actually use robots in the field. So for the rest of the presentation, I'm going to show some really fun videos about some of the companies that I work with. I'm based in California, Menlo Park, California. So a number of these companies are very close to me, and a number of them are different places. But I can talk about and show you videos of some of these great companies and the exciting cutting edge work that they're doing. So first we'll talk about Verdant Robotics. And this is a company that's about a 20-minute drive from my house. And so I get to go over and see what kind of work that they're doing on this particular robot. And so they manufacture robots and machinery components. And they use their technology to transform grower profits by digitally mapping the farm across time and space, automatically tracking and treating every part of a plant that's growing in the field or a tree. They're using robot as a service, so you don't have to buy their robot or their equipment. You can rent it from them. And they are a venture-backed company, so they have investors, most of them here in California, that have put in $21.5 million to get this company up and running. So I'm next going to show you a video, and let me set this up before I start it a little bit. This, what you see, is a fixed platform. So those circles that you see are computer vision, and they're looking, this is an apple orchard, and they're looking at all those little apple blossoms. And then when they figure out which apple blossom that they want to spray a thinning chemical on, so this is for thinning the apple orchard so you have less apples and you have better apples, then it will squirt out, and you'll see it squirt out a little bit of the thinning chemical, instead of, in the past, we normally just kind of blanket the whole orchard with the thinning chemical, and you get what's left. But this is actually targeting exactly which blossoms should be sprayed with the chemical. And you'll see in the next frame after this one, where they have been tracking and driving through the field, they've been tracking each apple blossom along the way and using artificial intelligence to tell them which of the apple blossoms, when the time comes, they should actually spray. So I'll show the video now so you can see what I'm talking about. So you can see the squirting coming out for the apple blossoms, and you can see the computer vision looking at the different ones. And those little blue boxes were the AI that you were getting to know the apple blossoms over time. This can be used on an autonomous vehicle, going through the apple orchard, gathering data. And then this is using the same technology for carrots. So they're able to start a very small amount of chemical onto weeds on the carrot fields. And then this is their new machine. This is a really exciting piece of equipment that just came out with. And here, what they're doing is using lasers. So they're actually using lasers that can see the weeds and kill the weeds with lasers, so not using chemicals. This is another company that's here in California called Carbon Robotics. And they also have a laser weed killer, which is really exciting that they've got out in the field right now. And I've got a video of what they're doing. So they're a fairly new company, and this is a really exciting product that they have. Oops. So now we're going to switch to indoor farming. And there's a company called App Harvest. They're in Kentucky in the US, and they do indoor farming of mostly tomatoes is what they're focusing on right now. And they bought a robot company called Root AI. And Root AI is a universal harvester that identifies and harvests multiple crops of varying sizes, including tomatoes and peppers, cucumbers. So App Harvest purchased them and is using them to harvest the tomatoes in their indoor greenhouse. And this is a 60-acre greenhouse in Kentucky. So now I will show you the video that shows how this harvester works.
At App Harvest, we've created the future of farming with our 60-acre flagship farm. The dedication and farming know-how of our crop care specialists, combined with technology to conserve resources, helps us use less to grow more. With robotics and artificial intelligence, we have the opportunity to increase our impact and expand on our mission by bringing in the world's leading robotic universal harvester to work side by side with our crop care specialists. This addition to our current farming tools provides an intelligent way to evaluate crop health, precisely predict our produce volumes, and optimize overall operations of the indoor farming facility. The way we grow and consume food has drastically changed. This means farming practices must also change. Our AI shows that food can be predicted based on data instead of daily rainfall, design instead of natural disasters, and planned production instead of poor product. Together, our technology and our team members are redefining agriculture with food resiliency in mind. We know you care about where your food comes from, and we want to bring it straight to you, faster, fresher, from our farm to your fork. The future of farming is here. This is Farming Now.
Here's another company called Ramsey Highlander. And what I love about them is they're a company that's been around for 35 years. They're a private company, and what they do is design and sell machines. So they work very closely with the grower community in Salinas to design exactly what a particular grower wants and sell them that machine. And they manufacture specialized harvesting age focused on vegetable growers. They work with them to design exactly what they want. It's mostly labor assist. You still need labor, but you need less labor. So I'm going to show you, this is kind of loud, so I'll talk before it gets started. This is a water jet harvester. So what they're using is, instead of knives to harvest romaine lettuce, they're using jet water that's pushed really hard into the romaine that cuts it and makes a really good cut. So this video shows you what's happening in the field. So you can see there's still a lot of people in the field. We're not completely taking the labor away, but we're having labor in the field that's doing less back-breaking work. They're up on the truck sorting the romaine, but the actual harvesting is being done in the field by this water jet. And this will show you in a second here what the actual cut looks like in the field, so you can kind of see how it's cutting the lettuce. There's the cut, pretty clean. So here's another company that is in Pennsylvania, and they're a venture-backed company. Again, they've had venture capitalists invest $13 million in them, and they're designing collaborative robots that are designed for people to work more productively. It uses computer vision, high-precision GPS, and AI to allow people to navigate autonomously while carrying these payloads. It's powered by sealed lead acid batteries, and it will work 15 hours on a charge. So this is a great little video that just shows what a workhorse that this little robot is, and that you can use it for many different things on the farm. of the things, I don't know if you noticed, where it shows it actually harvesting the grapes. That's a new innovation that the company is working on, using computer vision to be able to go up and actually see where to cut the grapes. So that's still in development, but I think that's amazing that they're developing these robotic arms, and hopefully that will be something of the future. So here's a slightly different technology. This is a company that is not in produce yet. I keep trying to convince the CEO to develop this technology for produce, but what they have is a drone that flies over the field, and the video you'll see is in corn, but it flies over the field and then drops a sensor that kind of looks like a microphone below the canopy and gets all of the data that it can get around water, moisture, temperature, insect pests, all this data that it gathers with a sensor that drops into the field and then can be taken out of the field. So you'll see in the video how they're using this in corn and how it works.
Relying on technology has become essential to increase productivity.
At Acre, our vision is simple. We want to improve the profitability and sustainability of every farm operation around the globe. We're transforming the way that we monitor the environment and we observe crops as they grow so that we can protect yield and provide better outcomes.
Acre enables technology to automate a proven process that has worked for decades.
TrueCost is an agronomic sensor array that collects and analyzes under the canopy data. This tool is equipped with cameras, environmental, and biometric sensor that, combined with machine learning, can provide timely and accurate information for better recommendations for farmers.
It's a game changer because it takes a slow, manual, inefficient, expensive process and turns it into an automated, fast, efficient, cost-effective solution.
What's going to be the most important thing for any of these companies is to figure out how to team up together and how to share data with each other so that, everything's kind of coming into one central platform.
This company is a company called Monarch Tractor, and it's a tractor platform that combines mechanization, automation, and data analysis to really help farmers in the field. And the CEO calls it a platform, not a tractor, because every time it's out in the field, it's gathering more and more data and analyzing data to help you understand what's going on in the farm. It's sized to be used in orchards and in specialty crops, not in corn. So it's a smaller autonomous tractor that's out in the field now. And they're based here in the Bay Area as well. And they're developing this to sell the tractor. So this video just shows you what it can do in the field. So those are the examples of companies that I wanted to show you today. They're all really exciting, and I've gotten to talk to the founders of those companies and are really working on getting that out to people. And one thing I wanted to make sure and mention to you all today is that at IFPA, we are starting a accelerator. And applications are due April 4th. And what we're doing is taking technology companies from outside of the produce industry and also produce technology companies from other countries into the program. 10 to 12 companies, 6-month program. It starts with an immersion week where people come to California and spend a week going to all of the largest farms and processing companies here in California, and then ends with our large show that used to be Fresh Summits, now the Global Fresh Produce and Floral Show. That's in Orlando, Florida. And then we have webinars and all sorts of resources and mentors in between. So if you are a technology company, or if anyone else that you know is a technology company, please have them go to our website at freshproduce.com and apply for this program. We'd love to have companies from Chile in this program. That would be excellent. One thing I did want to mention just before leaving the robotics piece is that there are a lot of challenges in developing robotics and automation for agriculture. We have temperatures extremes, heat, cold, wet, wind. We have uneven ground. We have mud. We have tensile state of the fruit, meaning if you have to pluck a plum from a tree, you can't break it. And so that's hard to do with a robotic touch. It takes a long time to develop these products, and it costs a lot to develop them. So that makes it a little difficult to get funding for that cycle. So it's exciting that we have the companies that we have, and they've come as far as they have. But there are a lot of challenges, and that's why there's not a million of them everywhere in the world right now. One last thing I'll leave you on is I do have a podcast that I do on the technology in agriculture. And so every week I explore the problems, solutions, and people and the ideas that are shaping the industry. So I'll have all different kinds of guests. So please make sure to tune into the podcast. I think you'll enjoy it. It is in English. And that is all I have for you today. And thank you very much for your attention and your time. And I look forward to the time when I can come visit. Thank you.